hear me talking. So I feel very my pleasure that you guys are listening to me right now. This is gonna be like a quick 30 minutes. I'm gonna talk about my journey from my early days into like how do I end up at Facebook. But first of all, like congratulations for all of you, RevoU grads. You are now one step closer to where you want to be. So I am glad that you are doing this change into like whatever you guys been doing before. And then I know COVID-19 this year has been like hard for, I believe, for everyone. So I am very proud of all of you because I mean, who want to be like in COVID-19 and you still want to learn something new? I think that's already a big step that you guys are doing, and kudos for you all, and you have to be proud of yourself. So my short introduction about myself, I would say that again, my name is Joshine. I've been in Facebook for about actually 7 months now, very new. I relocated from the US to Singapore for the role. I am an account manager at Facebook, so I manage global business for Indonesia and also a little bit for Philippines actually. Jadi a little bit about like how my journey, we're gonna talk about everything from A to Z, kind of like what did I study, and then how did I end up with Facebook and why I'm there. This is like my small preview about my profile. Facebook and Instagram, we're kind of like consolidated now, and we also have WhatsApp and all other apps. So that kind of that's like the deal. So I'm just putting my social there. I'm not really active on Facebook, but then I'm there on Instagram. So if you do have any questions, my Instagram is not really professional. So you could see like my fun style and my life, kind of like how I like my daily life, not only professional life. So that's where you can like reach me out and ask questions. Yeah, so in this session, I actually do have some question for you first. So I would like to hear from you, I guess, three people. My question is, what is your dream job? So if you could, anyone would raise your hand. Like I need like three people to just like say what is your dream job. It could be a company, it could be a position, just like yeah. Anyone, maybe Mbak Riri bisa
Alright, boleh.
siapa atau gimana?
Alright, boleh nih ada yang raise hand. Tadi Ronald, boleh langsung. Ronald, Pamela.
Halo Kak.
Halo.
Mungkin kalau aku dream jobnya mungkin itu sih media master di grup M ya.
Wow.
Udah ada company-nya.
Wah, udah ada. Harus grup M ya?
Nggak harus sih, tapi aku mau coba di agency dulu sih Kak.
Okay, that's good. Like, is there any reason why? Just a little bit before we move on to the second person.
Soalnya kalau dari aku sih digital marketing itu kan agak luas ya Kak. Ada yang in-house, ada yang lebih ke outsourcing. Tapi kalau misalnya kita di agency itu kita bakal ngelihat orang-orangnya itu udah yang lebih pro sih dibandingkan kalau kita in-house sih.
I see.
Mungkin itu kalau dari aku.
That's good.
Thank
you so much, Ronald, for sharing.
Thanks, Ronald. Second one is Pamela. Boleh langsung.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
My dream job is to actually own a media company that resonates with women empowerment. That's why I kind of want to learn deeper about digital marketing on creating a media that can grow well. That's it.
Wow, that's a big dream.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm still learning.
No, it's definitely a big dream, and we are praying for you that you will get that. You will be there one day, one step closer.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. And the last person?
Last person ada Nur Hutomo. Boleh langsung di-unmute aja.
Halo.
Halo.
Kalau dream job sih, untuk short termnya mungkin Widen and Kennedy. Kalau long termnya mau bikin media and agency company sendiri.
I see. Wow, this is a lot of entrepreneur souls in this room, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then why is that?
I mean, Whedon and Kennedy is practically the mastermind behind Nike, and I always saw that Nike's ad are like really awesome. So yeah, I think, I mean, if you want to be the best, you need to learn from the best. So I think Whedon and Kennedy is one of the best in the world, and they
Wow.
are independent. So yeah.
Wow. I mean, kalian udah did your own research ya, yang kayak kalau zaman dulu pertama kali aku ditanya mau jadi what's my dream job, I'm like, I really don't know. I'm just
To get a job. To get a job is
yeah, I
the
just
dream.
want to get a job. Yeah, but then a little bit about myself. Jadi sebenarnya nggak apa, kita ngomong campur-campur aja ya bahasa and English. My dad is in English, tapi aku bisa ngomong bahasa. Jadi a little bit of my background. I live in Indonesia buat 13 tahun sebelum aku pindah ke US. And then I just moved back to Asia actually for the role at Facebook. Jadi before this, it was very interesting how I make my career move. Tapi I knew back then, jadi I remember I moved in 2008, so Facebook itu waktu itu masih new banget, and Facebook is the only platform that could make me connected with my family and friends back in Indonesia. And working at Facebook was never really like my goal, tapi I know that's like, oh, there is this company called Facebook, and then it's pretty cool, it connects people. So it just okay, and di 2008 kan kayak Facebook belum, maksudnya people start making profile, but then doesn't mean that they are such a big company as in like today. Like kita bisa lihat kayak how social media dari 2008 sampai sekarang kan beda banget. Tapi back then I was just like, oh, there's this idea. Nah, terus aku mikir kalau misalnya aku mau work Facebook mau jadi apa juga, kayak I'm not an engineer, I'm not a tech person, but then how can I work at Facebook? How can I actually put value for the company that I'm working? But that was something just like back in 2008, and then I actually went to college and studied math, and then it was like, I might be an analytics person in Facebook, but then that idea was just like, oh, that's quite far. Maksudnya, aku harus jadi kayak pemenang Olimpiade kali ya kalau mau jadi kayak someone in engineer or like analytics in Facebook. So it was like, oh yeah, there's this place called Facebook, but then it's never really my career goal. So you guys are actually like way more ahead than I am. So kudos for that. Let me go through my real journey. Jadi I know that probably some of you guys already kind of like look at my LinkedIn, but in LinkedIn it's not like, I mean, it's highlighted most of my career journey. However, today we're gonna like really open what happened to me, and then how can I get into this point of life, and then how I can get to this point of my career. Do you have any questions for now before we move on?
We actually have, but basically they asked about your experience in Facebook, so you might want to continue the presentation first.
Got it. So a little bit about what I do in Facebook. Mungkin ini bisa kita ngomongin sedikit dulu sebelum kita go through my past. Jadi what I do in Facebook right now is actually I help Facebook makes more money. I know Facebook already makes a lot of money, but I help them make more money, which is, it's very interesting. So I do sales. I recap retail and hybrid e-commerce in Indonesia. Jadi, most of my clients are big retailers that you can think of. Mostly are my clients. I can't really open them like who are their names right now, but then yes, I scope retail and hybrid e-commerce in Indonesia. How I do it with them is I'm based in Singapore. We have meetings. I do pitch every day. So it's just a salesperson, but it's for Facebook. So maybe it's cooler. But any kind of sales is like you have to build your relationship. So that's something that I really like. But of course, to get into this point, I need to know myself first. So we're gonna go through that journey. But high level, what I'm doing in Facebook, I make them richer. I make them get more money. But that's what I do, and that's what I'm happy for them. So yeah, let's move on. Hold on, let me make sure this is working. Yes, so my career journey, it started with, I was actually in finance long time ago. Jadi dulu banget, aku itu sebenarnya, I was a math econ major, jadi bukan digital. I don't have any digital marketing experience. when I was in school, I didn't know what I wanted to be. Bener-bener kayak weirdly, I love math. I like to do equations, and I think math was challenging until I went to college, and then I realized everyone is smarter than me, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not that smart at math. So that was like quite plot twist. Tapi yeah, so everyone told me that, oh yeah, Joshin, kalau kamu di math, maybe you can be in finance. It's like quite easy. Terus finance was a big thing back then. So I graduated actually 2014. Tapi I put this timeline, ini 2015 is when I actually like worked, but then before then, so I was interning at finance, and then some of my family came from finance background, jadi kayak it was something that they think of me, maybe that's a path that I can follow. Dan mereka nggak tahu tentang media, dan saya juga nggak tahu tentang media itu apa. Jadi tadinya kerjaan saya itu ngeliatin stok. Jadi that's how I got into stock market. And then waktu about like graduation time, I actually really don't know what to do. Aku benar-benar ngerasa, what do I want to do? Because some people figure it out before graduation. Mereka kira-kira mau apa, mereka langsung dapat job offer. For me, it was just like, what do I want to do? I'm very adventurous as a person, so it's like, oh, I'm just gonna open the door and see what comes to me. Tapi sedikit about that, maybe some people have different stories about their life yang kira-kira mungkin waktu mereka graduate, mereka udah tahu mereka mau jadi apa, mereka graduate, mereka udah tahu job offer right away, udah seal the deal. So that wasn't me. Aku benar-benar, maybe I could be in finance, maybe I could go somewhere else. I actually graduated from, I guess, quite good school di LA. Then I end up staying there. Dan pertamanya I applied to a couple different jobs. Then it was not the best job. I mean, at that time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna see what can I do and what job can I get. Dan yang trying to get into professional level. Nah, so my first job itu adalah data analyst contractor. Nah, tapi that job ini luckily is in a digital agency. Jadi it's called Quigley Simpson. So that's like they're a boutique digital agency. Then it was a contractor which is like a monthly contract ya. Jadi kayak kalau misalnya mereka mau extend bisa, tapi kalau nggak mau extend bisa. Jadi my quality of work wasn't really appreciated enough because I wasn't even a full time. Tapi I actually udah graduated, udah everything. So I know that this was like a step, but then I know this wasn't really for me. Tapi mereka hire aku karena you do math, berarti kamu bisa Excel kan. Terus that's it. I'm like, okay, yeah, let me do your Excel. Terus that's how I got my like first contract job. I did it for 3 months, and then that's how I kind of got exposure about, oh, this media life exists, this digital advertising. Karena back then in 2014 or 2015, even di Amerika juga the digital advertising wasn't as big as it is today. Jadi how they spend money kebanyakan juga masih di TV, masih tradisional. Jadi ini masih very early stage. And then after that contract job, I was like, oh, there's this like side kind of industry that exists that I didn't know, which is media advertising. Ya sebelumnya itu pikiran aku tuh kayak kerjaan cuma ada finance, consulting, dan the other side lah, bukan media advertising sama sekali. Jadi aku nggak tahu tentang media advertising at all until I got this contract job. Nah, from this contract job, I got into my first full-time job, which is a media planner at Kera, Kera is a Dentsu. Jadi mungkin kalian tahu Big Four, salah satu Big Four Dentsu. I mean, sorry, not Big Four, Big Six. Big Six. Big Four is the other side. That's the accounting side. Big Six. So what they actually offered me was like, hey, we really like you, but what we do is we don't do much. It's not gonna be an analytics. It's gonna be like a media planning. So you plan the media. And at first I was like, oh, what is this? Like kayak apa yang bisa aku bawa dari sekolah aku, which is my major and what my expertise into this role. Terus mereka kayak, oh kita itu loh movies. Our client is a movie client. So what you do is you're gonna plan about movies that are coming up. So back then it was the studio that I was taking care of. It's called Relativity. Sama so that one is the one that come out with Transporter movie. So maybe kalian pernah tahu Transporter, itu dari Relativity and Europa Corp. So aku waktu itu masih kayak, oh that's pretty cool. Being in LA, trying to get into this entertainment kayak media planning, looking into what kind of creative things that we can do. So I took the job because I thought it was very interesting, and I know no one from Indo would think that this is a career journey. Even my parents were like, what are you doing there? I'm like, oh, we do movies. And my parents was like, oh, apakah ini something yang, is it a long term? I'm like, well, I'm here now, I got the job, so let me try it for 1 year. Jadi mereka bilang kayak, oh kalau 1 year kamu nggak suka, let's go back, dan kayak go back to finance. So that's what you did, and that's what your school path was. I was like, okay, yeah, that's a deal. Jadi kayak I was planning to just stay there for a year actually in the US. Then thinking about this is just like something that's fun for me to do, and then lebih ke adventures than thinking about what is good for me for my career. So that's what happened. Nah, what I didn't know of, it gave me a very different kind of life-changing perspective about the job that I could have. Jadi kalau finance itu kayak very rigid, you have to dress up. Kalau misalnya di advertising, you pakai kaos, benar-benar nyantai. You just benar-benar kelihatannya kayak you're really enjoying. It's the long hours is the same, and you got paid like probably 1/3 atau kayak even less, way less than the finance job. Tapi you feel that you have the family with you within the agency karena kalian work together, and then also all the hours that you spend together itu benar-benar something that menurut aku at that point was like something that I really need, something that's like a very different perspective of a career that I could be in. Nah, dari 1 year itu, waktu aku menjadi media planner, my plan was mostly itu tradisional, jadi nggak gitu touch digital. And then I knew back then in 2015, digital started getting more money, more budget dari klien, and a lot more attention. Nah, that's why I realized, wait, maybe I should be into digital instead of being into this traditional space of out of home. Jadi I try to look for another different job. I try to think, oh, next stepnya apa ya? Apakah aku mau jadi planner di satu company? With the client that's only focusing on TV, atau mungkin mau ke somewhere else. So I got my second full-time job, which is client success manager at Tremor Video. Tremor Video itu apa? Dia itu demand side platform. Jadi kayak mungkin beberapa teman-teman sempat kenal apa ya? Do you know Trade Desk? Pernah dengar Trade Desk? Programmatic? Itu semacam seperti itu. No? No one?
No. Maybe no. We have one student yang tahu. Aloy.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So Trade Desk is very big. Trade Desk is another big thing that's like, I think Trade Desk is doing well. Jadi dulunya itu Tremor itu back in 2016. So I moved to Tremor 2016. Mereka itu go against Trade Desk, tapi Trade Desk benar-benar naik. Kita cuman ya lumayan lah gitu. But what happened was di Tremor Video ini kita focusing on video advertising. Jadi fully digital. Nah, di sana ini aku spend about 3 years thinking about what I really want to do. Nah, what happens was being into digital, it's something that I wanted to be. Tapi being in the company was like 200 people. Jadi there's a lot of space to grow. And then I was there for about almost 3 years. And what I thought that I wanted to do was like, did I really want to do this? Karena di dalam 3 years itu I move in different kind of roles. Dan aku lebih kayak soul searching, what do I want to be, kayak do I really want to be in planning, do I really want to be in sales, do I really want to be in operation. Jadi benar-benar advertising itu is another, like, yes, you decide to be in advertising, but then where do you want to be in advertising exactly kan ya? What I learned there actually, sebenarnya when you know that you are working in a smaller company, it doesn't mean it is bad. Like, you don't need to work in a big company to learn. You just need to be surrounded with great people with the right passion. So that's what I really found when I was at Tremor. That's why I spent 3 years di sana, karena I mean, the company is growing. However, it's not as big as Google. It's not as big as Facebook. Tapi it's there. It's out there. We got all the experience, and then you got to be surrounded by people that inspires you. I think a lot of people these days thinking about like, oh, aku nggak mau kayak di company yang kecil dulu karena aku pengen langsung big shot, mau yang langsung punya experience. So sometimes it's not always like that, because sometimes orang-orang juga ada, they have their own journey, they have their own learning curve. And for me, di dalam Tremor ini, waktu I was at Tremor, it was very eye-opening karena orang-orangnya benar-benar very passionate. Jadi I was thinking about like, what do I want to do after this? Kayak that moment that you are working, tapi you kind of thinking, is this something for me? That was me within those 3 years. Kayak, do I want to stay? Do I want to be more than this? Apakah aku bisa ngelakuin something else? So I felt very happy being in that company. Tapi deep inside, I felt like maybe there's something else for me. Jadi I decided to quit my job and be unemployed. That's a very big decision. Tapi maybe in my story, I needed to do that for myself in order to be able to appreciate what I have. Jadi waktu di LA ini aku juga sedikit identity crisis karena family aku juga di Indonesia dan teman-teman aku semua udah balik ke Indo. Jadi kalau aku stay di LA selama kayak buat lebih lama lagi, it means like maybe I will never go back gitu kan. Jadi I quit my job, and this is actually a very big decision. And then I moved back to Indo for 4 months, trying to do a soul search. Jadi ini sebenarnya foto aku di Kalimantan, which is where's my parents are from. I mean, where's my dad's from. And then within that 4 months, I'm just trying to think like, do I want to be in advertising? What is the point of what I want to do? Terus juga sedikit pikir tentang, do I want to start a new business, small business? Karena semua orang di Indo kebanyakan small business is doing really well, and you're looking around and you're like, wow, they're doing business here and there. So I actually quit my job and then try to do something that out of the box and try to see if I know what I really want. So my journey is actually like, I didn't know what I want to do. I really didn't know what to do. I tried to quit my job. I tried to do soul searching, looking into opportunities and see where I really fit. Nah, terus setelah this 4 months break, aku sebenarnya aku udah mulai interview ke Facebook. Aku try to kayak, maybe I can live in Asia. Maybe I can try living in Asia. Jadi aku start applying dari Facebook, aku apply companies di Jakarta juga, dan also I still apply to companies di LA karena just in case aku nggak dapet di mana-mana gitu kan ya. Nah, waktu itu adalah waktu interview process. By this time I already have 4 years of experience in advertising. Jadi it's quite strong lah. It's quite strong to be in a quite nggak masuk entry level tapi kayak tengah-tengah lumayan lah. Jadi at that point, I actually got the job in Jakarta, tapi I didn't want to take it because it was not as good as I expected, and then it's just a very kind of different job. Tapi buat Facebook sendiri, they give me the interview. I went into 8 different interviews at Facebook, dan ini itu kejadiannya bulan 2019, tahun kayak tengah tahun. Nah, at this time, I really wanted to work at Facebook. Facebook is something that, I had that thought back then, dan finally aku udah di interview role segala macam, tapi they told me that they don't have a headcount for me. Jadi at the end, I took the job. I moved back to LA to take another job because Facebook didn't have a headcount for me. After I went through like 2 months of 8 different interview, case studies, and everything. But they said they like me, but not like me enough to give me an offer. It's fine. So I moved back to LA. So that's where I was a solution architecture. Jadi it's a DMP, which is data management partner. And then I hated that job. Benar-benar aku ngerasa I wasn't valued. This is not what I want to do. Mereka di advertising juga, tapi not as like, they're not a vendor, they're not a programmatic, they're just the data part. Dia benar-benar very centric of data. Jadi I think it's just a different scope, but I still do entertainment. You can see it's Joker. Our big clients is Warner Brothers. So that's still in me. Like I like all those media and entertainment. Tapi I don't like the job. So for the second time, I quit my job. So ini 2018, 2019 aku lumayan identity crisis lah kasarnya. And I know a lot of people are thinking is sebenarnya quit your job itu is a good idea or not sih gitu kan ya. Dan for me it turns out well that I quit my job twice. Jadi waktu I quit my second job, I didn't know what to do. I really didn't know what to do. All my friends were like, kenapa? What's wrong? What's wrong? Like why do you want to quit your job? Lagi second time, kenapa, kayak is it something that kamu nggak puas atau apa gitu. Tapi what I felt that I worked there for a couple months and then I just didn't feel happy. I really didn't feel happy about what I was doing, and then I didn't feel appreciated. Then it made me feel like, oh, what is the next step for me? Nah, waktu aku quit my job, I end up being unemployed again for a little bit, tapi at that point I kind of know what I want to do because I tried the things that I know I don't want to do. So that's a good point when you are looking for a job, then kayak merasa you try something new and then you know that's something that you don't want to do. At least you learn something, even though that's not the destination, but you know that's something that you don't like. Dan itu something yang aku ambil dari sekarang adalah, oh, that job was too technical for me. I need to do something else that's more have interaction with people and building relationship. So that's why I decided I want to be in sales. Nah, at that time, I tried to apply other jobs lagi. Dan waktu aku apply, tiba-tiba someone from Facebook reach out to me. Dia bilang, hey, the headcount is open. Are you still interested? So that was like, wow. I quit my job 2 weeks later. Someone in my dream job actually coming back to me and asking if I'm looking for one, even though I already took another job ya, padahal waktu sebelum Facebook ini. Jadi that's something like, oh, I really need to take faith. I really need to. Maybe this job is actually for me. This Facebook job, yang actually all the way in Singapore kan ya. Jadi that's something that's quite eye-opening. Nah, well, so they asked me for one more interview with. It's not really a case study interview. They just want to talk to me because bosnya udah ganti nih ceritanya. Jadi dia bilang kayak, oh, bosnya udah ganti. Jadi let you do one more round and then see how it is. Nah, waktu itu I actually was like, oh, benar-benar pikirin kayak, if this is for me, let me get it because I don't have any job and this is something that I really, really want. And the timing was good. And then, yeah, I just have to move back to Asia lagi kedua kalinya. Jadi, I took that job. I took that job. However, when I took that job, mereka tuh ada beberapa bulan buat ngurusin visa segala macam. So, while I know I have a secure job, I took another contract job namanya di Sony Pictures as a programmatic consultant. So I think it turned out really well until I was there for about a month and a half, right before Facebook could fly me out to Singapore to start my new job. Jadi finally I'm at Facebook. So that's it's quite a long story. Tapi the key points here that I want to share with you, it's like there is a long, kayak your goal, it's one thing, but then your journey is all other different thing, and it could be very long. Bisa bolak-balik, aku bolak-balik Amerika Asia segala macam. Aku quit my job. I was thinking about like gimana nih kayak how to do my financial. Kalau I quit my job, can I survive? Like how's my saving gonna work? Dan gimana caranya selalu pikirin tentang kayak will I ever get there? That's something that's in my head.
Udah belum?
Sorry?
Yeah, you can continue. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
that was someone
that's fine.
unmuted.
Yeah, so I always thinking like, will I ever get there where I actually feel happy about my job? Itu something that a long journey ya, karena menurut aku nggak semua job it's something that you're happy with, and then sometimes once you know that it's not for you, you need to have a bigger heart to actually kayak, oh, I'm more worth it than that, then I want to do something else. Do it for yourself. So that's my career journey, and next is what I've been done into advertising. Karena aku muter-muter, jadi I did finance, I did agency, I was in programmatic, I was in data management partner, I was also in client side. Jadi nggak cuma satu place yang bakal kasih kamu itu your goal. Jadi take everything as jangan regret on what you do, because at the end of the day, that's something you learn if you like it, or you learn that you don't like it and you know that it's not for you. Jadi jangan ngerasa kamu waste your time in your job, kayak misalnya your past before being in digital was something that's not really for you. Terus now you decide that digital is for you. Tapi even if one day it doesn't work, doesn't mean that kayak you wasting your time, because at least you understand why it doesn't work. Dan of course kadang-kadang kamu lihat orang lain bisa yang, oh kenapa sih mereka gampang banget get a job somewhere that they really want. Tapi it's just the timing on someone is very different, and then at the end of the day you could be happy in like where you are, tapi it's just the timing is getting longer, dan mungkin kalian harus belajar dulu to make sure you are actually have the skills and then have the personality or have the passion to do what you want to do. Okay, so I do have a couple like encouragement. Kalau misalnya kalian ngerasa your job is not for you, atau you ngerasa kayak lumayan stuck, so these are all the 5 things that I always think for myself. Jadi of course first is to stay positive, which is how do I stay positive, especially in this time it is very hard. Jadi aku move ke Singapura ini Februari awal tahun, dan mereka langsung close the border 2 weeks after I move. Jadi I haven't even seen my family, where belum ketemu orang tuaku sama sekali, dan belum ketemu teman-teman aku yang aku bakal mikir tuh tadinya aku mau move ke Singapura, ke Facebook to try to do what I want to do, plus have more time with my family, tapi that didn't work. Jadi moving to a place baru lagi pandemic ini was like very very tough, and then to stay positive, it's something that it's so easy to say, but then it is very hard to do. Then I feel it every single day when I wake up. I'm like, why are we stuck in this place? And then kalian mungkin ngerasa kenapa PSBB masih ada, dan why everyone is still dying, why COVID is still there. There's something yang masih it's so hard to do. Tapi what I try to do is try to do a little bit of like morning workout, jogging or walking. That's something that kind of keep me sane. Karena waktu kamu gak kayak, kadang orang-orang tuh ngerasa, oh my day is bad, ujung-ujungnya kamu malah stay di ranjang 1 harian, itu kamu punya mood gak bakal jadi better, karena ujung-ujungnya kamu malah tidur lagi, maybe you have even a nightmare after you taking a nap, or cuman kayak your mood bakalan cuman datar atau malah menurun. Tapi kalau kamu keluar and try to walk it off, dan put a very loud music dari headphones, dan kayak just to try to walk and see what's out there, maybe you'll get a little bit more inspired daripada stay di ranjang kamu for the whole day. So that's the first, stay positive. And if you find people giving negative vibe, please, like, you can mute them, you can unfollow them, you can turn off Instagram for like weeks. I just did that for 10 days. And even though I worked in Facebook and Instagram, I still deleted my app and then need to have like my own sanity. Jadi do whatever you need to do for you to stay positive. Second is hard work pays off. So this is something that I think kebanyakan orang kasih tahu aku kayak gini, tapi aku selalu kayak, yeah, I do hard work, tapi I don't see anything. Sampai untilnya I got this job and I was like, oh, actually my hard work actually works. That's it is just like the fate, your line, your career line, itu maksudnya it's not black and white gitu. Maksudnya banyak jalan menuju Roma lah kasarnya. Jadi not all hustle is loud. Sometimes it's just you all alone grinding. I think that's a very good quote yang mungkin kalian lihat teman-teman kalian ngerasa, oh, they're always out there, they look very happy with their life, dan langsung kayak, oh, gue sukses nih gini. It's not all hustle is loud. Kamu juga bisa kerja dengan keep it to yourself, atau banyak, nggak cuman kamu yang kerja keras juga gitu. Jadi let's think about another different perspective yang kita mau this hustle yang loud tuh doesn't mean they're happy, dan doesn't mean they could give you anything in back. Jadi I think second thing that you have to think about, like hard work pays off. Third, ignore the noise. Nah, ini tuh benar-benar di Indo benar-benar kerasa banget dari orang tua, keluarga. What are you doing with your life? Kenapa ganti-ganti pekerjaan terus? That's what everyone ask me. Kenapa kamu ganti-ganti pekerjaan terus? Kenapa quit lagi? Kalau quit lagi mau kemana? Kayak what else do you want to do with life gitu kan ya? Itu jadi that noise is very loud in your head. Tapi that battle is between you and yourself. Jadi I think that's something that you want to keep it to yourself. That battle is only between you and yourself. If you want to turn off the noise, you can. Just have it in you that you can do it. You can turn off the noise. Make them believe that you're doing your hard work. Dan ya benar-benar ignore the noise. That's di Indo tuh benar-benar aku ngerasa dari keluarga benar-benar kayak, aduh, kamu ganti kerjaan itu kayak udah kayak ganti apa ya, kayak ganti baju gitu kasarnya, kayak sering banget, kayak kenapa quit lagi, kayak kenapa nggak bisa di figure out aja, kayak are you like kayak apa ya, nggak bisa dikasih susah sedikit nggak bisa, tapi sebenarnya it's not susah sedikit nggak bisa, it's more like you know it's not for you, like you're thinking, you're giving time for yourself to invest on yourself to get to know yourself. I think that's something that's very important to know. Fourth, success doesn't mean happiness. So this is something I get a lot of objections on this. So please give me the objection, and I'll try to be a good salesperson that could take the objections. But then I believe that yes, success could make you happy, but then doesn't mean success is happy. Doesn't mean success doesn't equal to happiness. Jadi sometimes waktu kamu udah sukses pun kamu masih nggak ngerasa konten. Jadi ini something yang mungkin kita, yes, you want to be successful, tapi after successful ini, I want everyone is getting inspired about what actually makes you happy. Karena kadang orang bilang sukses itu adalah the amount dari money that you make, atau dari kayak what people think about you. Nah, tapi you have to see within yourself that what makes you content and happy. I think that's very, very important. Daripada pikirin about, oh, aku cuma mau sukses. Kalau kamu punya kayak $1 million atau $2 million atau whatever the money that you get, terus kamu nggak punya family or friends that you could spend, kayak ujungnya kayak COVID kayak gini, nggak bisa ada orang yang datang ke rumah kamu cuma sendirian, would you be happy? That's the $1 million question. So yeah, please put that separated, that kalau misalnya kamu udah sukses dan masih nggak ngerasa happy, because success doesn't mean happiness. And of course, chase for success, but also chase for your happiness as well. And think about how you want to measure this too. And fifth is one day at a time. So everything, tomorrow is never given. Jadi I would say that, I'm not saying that we're dying tomorrow, but we're all dying. We're living now, but we're all dying one day. Doesn't mean it's tomorrow. Tapi tomorrow is not promised. So I want you to take everything you're feeling is like, it is one day at a time. Like don't feel very don't feel very pressured about what you're feeling for thinking about like figure out your future. Karena ujung-ujungnya itu kalau kamu nggak take one day at a time, you'll feel depressed. And this is something real that people are feeling depressed about everything that's going on in life. Life is not easy, and we all know that. So we're here to encourage each other that every day it's take it one day at a time. Don't think about 5 years where you want to be. I mean, yes, you have that goal, tapi jangan terlalu pusingin kayak gimana banget sih caranya besok gue makan apa gitu-gitu. Kayak I think you just have to face what you feel, what you can do today, what you can change today in order to get you somewhere in the future in the next couple of years. Tapi just think about what today is first. Okay, so the next slide that I'm sharing is actually a little bit about reflection, like the things that you want to ask yourself. Jadi this is kind of like I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I know maybe some of you also didn't know what you want to do. But then tadi yang tiga answer itu lumayan jelas sih kalian mau apa sih. Tapi mungkin that's a career. Nah, tapi lebih kayak what do you like? Kayak who are you? Who am I? I think and what makes you happy. Jadi aku dulu pikir kayak aku suka math, jadi aku pikir aku mau do something with math, I want to do something with finance. And then I realized that, is that something that makes me happy to work 8 hours a day, even 10, even 12 sometimes, that just do Excel? Kayak, is that something that you want to deal with? Nah, I think that's a very good question on to pick your job and to pick your career. Kayak, can you spend 60 hours or even more, or 40 to 80 hours a week doing something that you don't like? Jadi mungkin that's something that you want to ask yourself. And how do you see yourself in 5 years if the sky is the limit? As doesn't mean you have to get there, but if you get there, it's cool, good for you. But then doesn't mean you have to get there, but you need to have that vision. I think that's what keeps you going as well. And the last thing is enjoy the ride, because that's what's important. You have to enjoy your journey. It's not about the destination. So yeah, do you guys have any questions? Sorry, has been talking for almost an hour, nonstop.
Yeah, we actually do have several questions. By the way, Joshin, I really like that you highlight the part where you kind of soul searching. Kan jarang ya, karena it's pretty much rare to see di career path orang di highlightnya di bagian itunya. Apalagi di bagian awalnya yang you mention also about your background, tadinya di finance, terus how you find basically maybe perhaps your passion. Mungkin kalau misalkan sekarang ada. So we have question from Adinda. Adinda boleh ditanyain langsung, unmute.
Halo Kak Joshin.
Halo Adinda.
Halo Riri. Iya, aku mau nanya, gimana sih, how do you find your purpose in career purpose itu sendiri? Apakah do you tend to stick to one goal atau goal itu kayak change over time gitu, dan itu gimana cara ngatasin konflik dalam hatinya gitu? Itu aja sih. Thank you.
Yes, thank you Adinda. That's very good question. No, it always changes. Mati nggak? Mati kan? Aku mati banget. I'm a little bit indecisive juga orangnya. Jadi that goal was changing, especially during kayak those 2 years 2018 2019 itu aku benar-benar kayak ini beneran nggak sih, kayak apakah ini yang aku mau gitu. Sampai this job that end up to be kayak everything makes sense now. Kenapa I went through all this thing that I end up being where I am today. Jadi sebenarnya itu it is so hard to figure out, tapi at least kamu bisa list apa sih yang kamu suka dari yang kamu bisa kerjain. Again, yang kayak kalau misalnya kamu harus spend 40 sampai 60 jam satu minggu doing something that can pay you, what will you be willing to do? Kayak that's something that I know it could be something that kamu yang kayak aduh tapi tetap aja aku nggak mau kerjain itu karena 40 sampai 60 jam itu lama banget. Tapi can you think about something that you can like with it, that can pay you as well? Jadi I think that we can have that as like something like your given skill. Jadi that's something that you have to think about and then see what are the options yang you can get with that skill that you have, if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you. I will take note about that. Makasih, Kak.
Ini lumayan lama bakal figuratnya karena menurut
Yeah.
aku, I didn't know that I wanted to be in sales until like 4 years in advertising. That I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good with people. Oh, I'm pretty good in talking. Oh, okay, that's kind of given. Okay, jadi mungkin aku harus leverage that and how can I use that to make money? So that's how I came into that approach. Tapi of course people have different skills. Sometimes people are really good in analytics and then they just feel like, oh, I want to crack the code. I'm very creative. I can do I can think about a campaign that could actually the campaign that's really good, that's like very eye-opening. Nah, it's not a different thing. And would you be willing to get paid thinking about a good campaign? Yes. So think about what you like and then see what kind of career or the next step that you want to get there. So the goal will be like a long way, tapi you kind of know, you will figure out what you like and what you don't like.
I see. Dan in the end, akhirnya pengalaman-pengalaman kita yang sebelumnya itu kayak yang membawa kita ke posisi yang sekarang, yang mengantarkan kita ke goal itu. Kurang lebih kayak gitu ya, Kak?
Iya, dan kalau misalnya kamu sedih juga, kayak misalnya you know it's not for you, try it for 6 months. If you still hate it, leave it.
I see.
And look for something else. Yeah, 6 months is biasanya aku kayak 6 bulan. Kalau 6 bulan masih kayak baru 2 bulan nggak bisa, you can't really tell. Mungkin you just kayak hate cuma beberapa things yang you hate, tapi kalau udah 6 bulan dan kamu ngerasa kayak, wah ini nggak bisa nih, segala macam, nah try to see something else. Invest on yourself. That's the biggest investment.
I see. Thank you so much, Kak.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Dinda. So
Thank you,
second question is from Anonymous. Is about the soul searching period. Did you get asked or voluntarily communicate your soul searching period to your potential employer? If yes, how did you handle that and what was the response?
Jadi gini, waktu aku soul search itu, pertamanya I just want to have a break dari kerjaan. Lebih kayak let's try to refresh the mind outside the box. Kira-kira apa sih potential things that I could be doing other than being in media or advertising. Nah, tapi waktu aku bikin that list, ujung-ujungnya kayak, well, Facebook was still up there. I was thinking about Spotify as well, thinking about the tech companies that I want to work with. Nah, terus I did apply. I applied and some of them reached back, some of them didn't, which is fine. Tapi there's always rejections. Tapi when you are soul searching, make sure before you apply or reach out, make sure kamu network dulu. Make sure kamu coba dari LinkedIn, tanya-tanya what's the job description. Nah, waktu di Facebook ini, aku udah tahu kira-kira jobnya kayak apa. Karena I've been eyeing to move to Asia for a long time, karena menurut aku, digital advertising di Indo especially, it's getting bigger and bigger. And then you guys need a lot of education. Dan buat Facebook, my job description tuh other than make Facebook make more money, I need to educate Indonesians. Jadi that's something that benar-benar moves me kayak, okay, this is something that, yeah, I can make money, I can also do what I want to do, plus I can educate, which is, that's the best. I mean, but Indo, I think it's kind of a reward for me, for myself juga. Karena waktu aku di US, aku nggak gitu bisa educate people, karena everyone else was already quite educated. Jadi aku cuman ya kerja biar tambahin company aku jadi make more money aja, tapi I don't get any value dari myself giving in. So this is why waktu RevoU reach out, I'm like, I'm down to share, yeah. So yeah.
All right. So next questions may be about your experiences in Facebook, because so many people want to hear that. So we have one questions from Mark Zuckerberg. Ini nama palsu pasti. So ini banyak nih ditanya nih, dari tadi ditanyain di chat box.
Yeah.
How do you think about the opportunity to work in Facebook for Indonesian digital marketer and any other roles?
Jadi di Facebook ini ada Facebook Indonesia, kita punya office di sana. Nah, usually kita hire 5-year experience at least dari agency atau dari tech company lainnya. I'm not saying this is always gonna be like this, tapi for now kebanyakan itu orang kita cuma hire orang yang udah experience karena nggak ada fresh grads. Dan kita prefer someone yang udah ada agency experience atau udah ada brand experience. Karena kan kita di advertising ya, kita mau tahu what is the scope from the client side, what's the agency side as well. Jadi if you do something similar, you can always get there. But of course you have to. Facebook is quite selective, I would say. I would say that the interviews isn't the hardest, but one of the hardest. You just have to think out of the box. Jadi kamu nggak bisa cuman book smart. You need to be street smart as well. So if you think about it's not about only one way. You have to come into like a package of what can you give to the company. Dan Facebook itu value a lot in community as well. Jadi we want someone that can value that. So to recap, there is opportunity, there is possibilities, but you need to know, you need to be you need to work hard and then see what experience that you can get before getting to Facebook. But kalau misalnya one day ada yang buka cuman 2 years experience or like fresh grad, maybe one day. But I'm saying for now, I don't think we're hiring someone dari fresh grad or anything. So look for more experience. Look for something that actually fill up your passion, fill up your skills, and then think about what makes you happy, and then think about if this is something for you or not. Karena I would say Facebook is not for everyone. People would like to work in Google. People would like to work somewhere else. So it's not only Facebook is out there.
All right. Second question is still about Facebook. So there are 2 questions. Basically, I want to ask it directly both to you. So first is from Helena. Could you elaborate more on your job desk in Facebook? And then from Nizam. So he was just curious about where should we go if we want to know the latest information about Facebook updates and such.
Oh, okay. Jadi pertama, aku jawab yang kedua dulu karena kalau Facebook updates, Facebook itu actually benar-benar share everything in the link, in Facebook. Kayak kita share new products, kita share follow LinkedIn-nya Facebook. We do updates banyak banget di sana. Kayak ada Facebook for Business, itu juga if you thinking about creating a business, Facebook for Business is a really good page to follow. Itu every country have their own Facebook for Business. Terus just go into like Facebook juga ada namanya Facebook Blueprints. Nah, Facebook Blueprint itu buat bener-bener your learning, buat creating, buat jadi expert di Facebook. So Facebook shares all the expert, tapi kebanyakan itu orang nggak mau learn, maksudnya nggak dedicate enough to put their time. So this is a little bit of an issue juga buat di Indo. Even for my clients, mereka yang kayak everything is out there, you can search everything, tapi mereka maunya semua disuapin gitu. Jadi that's something that you need to do your homework. That's the first thing. Kayak nggak bisa semuanya tuh nggak dikasih karena semuanya udah out there. You just have to search. You just have to Google them. I mean, I'm sorry I'm saying Google, but then yeah, it's still a search. You still have to search it from Google. Tapi everything is out there, so you can do your work. Everything is out there. There's nothing that we're hiding. I mean, if you know, I would know. Sometimes the news is already out there. I don't even know yet. So yeah. Everything is out there. I could definitely share some links maybe after with Riri. For the first question about my job description. Nah, di Facebook ini, the interesting thing is kita job description doesn't mean is what we do. Jadi kebanyakan itu, yes, there is job description, but there's just a core of what you do. Tapi the whole other things is what important. Jadi other than the job description itself, which is I told you it's like make Facebook richer. The other thing is like kamu harus build community, kamu harus share, you have to give value to the company. Maybe there's a lot of projects that we are handling, even though that's not our job description. Jadi Facebook itu kebanyakan tuh give up more space that what someone or employee can do other than just the job description. So this is the first company that I'm able to do that. Jadi sebelumnya aku ngerasa company aku yang sebelumnya itu benar-benar stick with the job description. Oke, kamu kerjaan kamu campaign management. Ya udah, kamu talk to clients, make sure you have good relationship and manage the campaign. Nah, tapi kalau Facebook itu benar-benar kasih tahu kamu you can do anything, you can do everything else with your idea, and as long as you execute them, and you can work with other partners as long as you execute them. So for example, let's say I'm handling a lot of retail business in Indonesia. Nah, jadi aku bisa pikir, produk apa sih yang best buat retail? Padahal sebenarnya it could be a product manager punya job, tapi because of I'm the one that's handling it with the client, I need to think about that too. Jadi it's not only your job description, kamu benar-benar luas banget that make you kind of work, the hours of work is quite long, to be honest. Tapi if you like it, you'll feel rewarded. So that's why I come back to your, the first thing is make sure you're happy with your job. Karena it could be a lot.
All right. Next question, still about basically your job in Facebook. Now it's from Larry Page. What is your strategy of selling your Facebook ecosystem or services for brands to compete with, let's say Google?
So kita ini, jadi all my clients actually mereka udah spend di Facebook. What I do is mereka harus terus keep updated with the products. Jadi kan Facebook punya new products coming up, dan we have the goal of like product adoption, let's say. Jadi we make sure, let's say sekarang kan di story kalian udah bisa lihat iklan ya di story. Tadinya kan belum. Nah, that's something that we want to push that. Oh, Indo ini kalau Indo bisa pakai story lebih banyak lagi, that's called product adoption. Jadi kalian lebih kebiasaan pakai story. Jadi we have more people to communicate through story. Nah, jadi I would say that how we want to take that approach, it depends on every salesperson, itu beda-beda. We don't have kita nggak ada one pager yang kita harus kayak A, B, C, ini caranya gitu. Semua orang Facebook harus melakukan cara ini. Enggak, you put your own style. So for my style itself, I put my relationship as my best best skill. Jadi I'm trying my best to have the best relationship with my clients and trying to understand of what's their goal, and you meet them in the middle of how you can help them make their life easier. Now, for Google itself, I would say that Google also probably have people that sell some similar products like I do. Tapi of course, how you can win the clients, it's like how you think strategically in creating your narrative and creating what you want to say about what the client really needs. I think that's very important, karena sometimes memang kalau kliennya perlu Google search, ya kita nggak bisa maksa mereka punya Google search di Facebook karena that doesn't exist gitu. So we have to know where we can stop, tapi kita juga harus tahu to think out of the box to pitch something else as well, to think about what is the better product that they can take advantage of. Jadi you need to understand their core business. So we're here not only selling but also as a marketing consultant. So you understand their business model, you're trying to understand, misalnya company ABC mau punya produk baru or anything or something about their strategy, and trying to understand dari cara mereka their business model. So it's not only about selling. As I said, my job description nggak cuma try to sell, tapi harus understand the full cycle in order to be able to be strategically selling for them, if that makes sense.
All right. Okay, so next questions will be about digital marketing practices. So The question is from Anonymous. So can you share maybe difference between digital marketing practices, perhaps when you're back in US and then here now in Asia Pacific?
Yes. Okay. This is a quite tough question karena very different. Jadi how we do our strategy it depends on the audience. Dan audience di US sama audience di Indo itu beda banget. Dan for me it's a learning that I'm still doing every day to understand what does Indonesians do as an audience buat mereka punya marketing, what works and what doesn't work. Nah, kalau buat di US, my clients used to be a Fortune 500 that's already very, very big. And they have this money to spend buat mereka punya brand awareness, buat mereka punya just making sure we call it burning the dollars. Karena sebenarnya ini mereka punya budget dan mereka cuma harus taruh somewhere aja. Dan kita sebagai platform, we're like, oh, we'll take your dollars, it will go somewhere, it will go to your audience. Tapi kalau di Facebook untuk Indo, they don't think like this. They can't just give us money to burn the dollars. Most of them benar-benar think dari A sampai Z gimana, aku spend berapa, aku dapat berapa. Aku spend more, will I get more? So those things are very calculated. Dan cara kita strategi cari targeting juga very different. So in US, when I was at Tremor, they actually have really, really good technology that very different than Facebook technology. What we did was, this is a little bit sharing what kind of product that I sold back then. It was, so we could recognize what people are watching in the TV. So, misalnya kamu suka TV show, let's say The Voice atau American Idol. Nah, ini The Voice sama American Idol kan dua TV show yang berbeda. Kita bisa tahu misalnya, misalnya Mbak Riri kemarin nonton The Voice. Sekarang American Idol season baru mau keluar. Aku bisa target Mbak Riri karena aku tahu Mbak Riri pernah nonton The Voice. Nah, kita juga bisa sampai target berapa episode The Voice yang Mbak Riri tonton. Jadi itu benar-benar very specific, very creepy, tapi we have that product. Nah, jadi that's something that kebanyakan entertainment clients atau let's say automotive clients would do karena let's say, dia baru dapat Mazda punya iklan. Jadi aku sebagai Toyota mau coba kasih lihat juga iklan aku. That they are that competitive. Sedangkan di Indo tuh nggak kayak gitu. Di Indo ya udah kompetitor saya bikin saya punya strategi sendiri gitu.
See. All right. Next is from Mateo. You mentioned that you are covering both ID and Philippines. Could you share the main differences in terms of digital marketing savviness between these two countries?
So ID and Philippines are actually quite similar on where they are in Southeast Asia. Nah, jadi buat Philippines ini lebih ke masih dikit banget klien aku yang Philippines. Aku lebih fokus ke Indonesia, tapi they're all in the same boat. Which is means like how they are savviness or not. But then for IG itself, Indo is #1 on activity globally. So that's something that's totally very different, that we are very active in IG, whereas Philippines nggak gitu. That's all I can share.
Jadi aktivisnya ya. Right. Okay, next is from Fadli. Fadli mau langsung nanya pertanyaannya. Boleh langsung unmute. You can directly unmute yourself, Fadli.
Okay, thank you. Hi.
Hi.
Actually, I'm still new in the digital marketing industry, so I'm just asking your opinion. Is there any specific line of industry that best suit us? I mean, those who just start a career as digital marketer. I mean, does it always have to be a tech company, or what do you think about it?
Okay. So your question is, as a newbie in digital marketing, do you need to be in a tech company for your first job?
Yeah.
Okay. Jadi that could be one option, tapi there's also agencies, dan agency itu ada boutique agency, ada the big six agency. Sebenarnya banyak banget field yang you can go. Nah, what an advice that I can give you is do a little bit of research of the company doesn't have to be big. You just have to be surrounded by good people. So talk to these people. Misalnya apply ke sebanyak-banyaknya, dan waktu kamu interview, you gonna feel like, oh, this is someone that I want to work for. I think that's very important karena what I felt di salah satu kerjaan aku yang aku quit after 6 months, it was because of I felt that I took that job without thinking about, is this people that I want to work for? I just took it because they give me really good compensation. They're there. They give me the offer and everything. And I was like, oh, why not just take the money and work? Maybe it just work. But no, it doesn't work that way. Money doesn't really make you happy. So talk to the people and think about, do you want to work for that person? Can you learn from that person? That's the main key. And then it doesn't make you doesn't mean it's gonna get you where you want to be in your goal. Tapi what you can do is at least you can learn life lessons while you work with this person.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Fadli. Next question is from Jessica. Jess, boleh langsung di unmute?
Okay. Hi, Jean.
Hi.
Yeah, I'd like to ask, you said that you had an identity crisis for 4 months, right? And it is just out of my curiosity, what did you say to the recruiter for the break that you have? I would like to ask your opinion. Is it actually okay to have a break in your career life? Thank you.
Yes. So this is something that's very interesting karena semua orang ngerasa break itu bakal jelek banget di resume. I think it is yes and no karena beberapa recruiter yang value you as someone with a skill set, as someone with the knowledge that you have, should not judge you with the break karena life itu benar-benar roller coaster. It could be up and down. You never know if amit-amit kayak besok kamu kenapa gitu. So they shouldn't judge you because of your career break. Maksudnya you never know kalau misalnya besok kamu punya mental breakdown yang parah banget atau I don't know what could happen, tapi life happens. Then it's supposed to be okay as long as you do the hard work and you can prove yourself that you get what it takes to get the job. Jadi beberapa recruiter mungkin mereka prefer someone yang don't have the break. Tapi kalau kamu udah punya full 4 years experience or even longer or 3 years experience solid kayak next, I think having a 1 month break, 2 months break, 3 months break, they shouldn't really ask you the question or make you sweat to explain yourself. Tapi if they do, come up with a good story.
Okay.
Come up with a good story.
Okay.
Yeah, then come up with a good story that makes you where you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. Next question is from perhaps masih relevan ya. Irfan, you can directly ask your question.
Okay. So, Joshin.
Hi. Yes.
So I actually like what you presented, that especially the part success doesn't mean happiness. I can relate to that. And however, I want to ask you about what is your main selling point, given that, sometimes others applicants we are many, therefore companies difficult to pick which CV is the more relatable, and how do you sell yourself in your CV? How can you be invited to the interview? And then related to the previous questions, what good stories you told?
Jadi gini, buat building your resume itu penting banget karena that's the first thing that a recruiter will see. Jadi sebenarnya when I left my job, aku tuh benar-benar tanya beberapa orang. I think I went to 3 to 4 professional, bukan profesional banget yang benar-benar dibayar buat do my resume, tapi lebih ke orang yang kamu trust yang udah punya the career yang kamu mau, yang maksudnya career yang lumayan successful, yang bisa liatin resume kamu sebelum kamu submit. So this is very important karena orang tuh kebanyakan males banget benerin resume karena mereka kira kayak ya udahlah kayak gue sekolah di sini, gue kerja di sini, it's not gonna change. No, tapi resume itu penting banget. kalau bisa kirimin ke 3 sampai 5 teman kamu, suruh mereka kasih feedback on your resume. Jangan malu, benar-benar jangan malu. Karena that feedback is just gonna help you. And feedback is a gift. Harus pikirin feedback itu a gift. Karena dulu aku ngerasa kadang malu banget buat kayak admit my weakness. Tapi sebenarnya once you admit your weakness, you actually get into the relationship that's something that you need to work on. So buat advice for CV and resume, please jangan hesitant buat kirimin itu ke 3 sampai 5 orang yang bisa kasih kamu good feedback about what you can highlight, what you can pull, how you present yourself, because that's the first thing that recruiters will see. Nah, once you get into a phone call round, you need to make sure you are prepared. Nah, jadi ini something yang benar-benar orang-orang kadang doesn't matter that you want the job or not. Jadi aku tuh kita sebagai orang yang cari kerja, kita harus apply ke sebanyak-banyaknya, dan doesn't mean that you just want to doesn't mean kamu mau semuanya, semua kerjaan ini, tapi you just have to apply because interview skill is a practice. So doesn't matter you get it or not, at least you got the skill to go through an interview. Jadi I would say, I don't remember how many interviews I went before getting a job in Facebook, but I'm telling you, it's not less than 10. I don't think it's less than 10. It's a lot of interviews. Then every interview you learn something new. Jadi even though the interview is long, and I know, and maybe kamu pikir, oh mungkin aku juga nggak bakal dapet, dan mungkin aku juga sebenarnya nggak gitu suka. It's okay, just go through the interview. Karena even though you get the job, you won't take it, and it's fine. Tapi you know that how you handle yourself in the situation will be able to prep you for the job that you really want. So that's the key. Karena orang banyak banget malas interview karena the place that I'm applying is not really the place that I want to go. No, take it. They give you your time. You just have to give them they give you their time. You just have to give you your time and you practice.
Right. Okay, thanks Infar for the question. Next might be, we go back again to your experiences in Facebook. So the question is, so are you now already within your comfort zone with your basically dream job here at Facebook? And perhaps there is one participant that is interested with a work culture in Facebook. Maybe you can share to us about that?
Yes. Am I in comfort zone? No, I'm still in learning curve, I would say. Facebook itu benar-benar push us buat keep learning. Jadi, which is something that I like, and then I maybe kind of hate in the same time. Tapi I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. It's always learning. Produk kita tuh banyak banget, dan you know, kalian juga pasti tahu lah, kita ada produk baru kayak tiba-tiba Facebook ada Reels, Facebook ada Instastory. Facebook Instastory-nya bisa dimacem-macemin. So that's the thing that we have to learn in time to time. And sometimes our client bisa learn faster than us karena kita harus do something else within that learning. Jadi kayak benar-benar that learning curve is huge, dan I'm not in my comfort zone. I'm still learning, and I wish that I could still be learning anytime in the next couple years, which is that means that the job isn't boring yet. The job, as long as you're learning, I think it's a good thing in your career. Tapi emang some people lebih pengen kayak, oh, if you just want to have a comfortable job, that may be for you too. Jadi you don't always have to learn. Tapi kalau misalnya you know what kind of person you are, that you need to be challenged, you want to work with in a place that you have to be challenged. Otherwise, you will get bored and you quit your job, and then kamu bakal go through my path sebelumnya. Jadi it's the learning journey kan. Then it depends on your personality. Second question, can you repeat? Sorry.
It's about the work culture in Facebook.
Work culture. Okay, work culture in Facebook is very good. They are supporting each other. Jadi everyone is very, very smart. Jadi you ngerasa sometimes you ngerasa itu a little bit competitive, but then no, everyone is just very smart, and then you want to learn from them, and then they always open their hands to help you. Jadi the community itself, I think it's very different than where I used to work before. we support each other, but we are a big company, so it's hard to know everyone. So there's a give and take. Kayak kadang kamu lebih prefer mau di smaller companies because you can talk to the CEO right away or like talk to the VP right away. Maybe I never tried to ping Mark Zuckerberg, tapi I don't know if I can. Actually, I never tried. Tapi that's a preference, right? Do you want to work in a small company or bigger company? And then what kind of culture that you want. Tapi kalau misalnya the culture is people want you to be successful, people are willing to help you, I think you're already in a good place.
All right. Still a question about Facebook. Berto, do you want to ask your question directly?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Riri.
Hi.
So, Justin, I have a question about your transition from working from the previous media company to Facebook. Like, what are the challenges that you met when you are transitioning towards your career in Facebook as an account manager?
Yes. So my experience actually quite different than other people yang to onboard karena my experience come during COVID ya. Jadi a lot of kita do everything virtually. So we need to be very good in like time management to actually kayak push yourself to work. Emang I think there's a little bit of shock, I would say. I didn't expect that I didn't come with like an expectation that I would work the whole day atau gimana karena again it's COVID time, there's nothing else to do anyways, jadi I could work the whole day. Tapi there's this part that like I felt like, oh wow, this is quite hard ya. Tapi you just have to know that you are supported by the people that could support you, which is your team. And you have to make sure that you raise your voice. Jadi kalau misalnya you feel that you don't get it, or they make you feel free to ask questions. They're always there to help you to try to be onboarded correctly and then learn what. And they don't push you kalau misalnya you fail within like 6 months. Karena I mean, of course in that 6 months nothing really. Jadi kita punya noob level tuh kayak kita dikasih 6 bulan buat belajar lah. Jadi take your time and then it's okay to make mistakes. Jadi, and we have to learn from our mistakes though. So that's a little bit different probably for me because of I am onboarded virtually. But then otherwise, I heard it should be easier. But mine, I'm thinking it's a little bit rough because of it was virtual.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Berta, for the question. So last questions, maybe about social media. So we have one question that asks, what do you think social media will be in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's so hard. That's $1 million questions. I would say that I believe in Facebook. So I'm not sure if it's still gonna be a social media, tapi we're going into the changes. So we always want to make sure that we keep up with people's behaviors, like and changing our behaviors. Jadi kalau misalnya there's some other things coming up, Facebook should be able to create a product that will that will actually do that for you. I would say that we're here into all this transition dari 2004 sampai right now, and we're still thinking to thrive and then be someone that's like innovative enough to follow people's what's the next big thing. Jadi I can't guarantee it's gonna be social media, but there might be something that's better. So dulu kan everyone in Facebook, sekarang everyone is in Instagram, so a little bit of shift. Maybe in 10 years Instagram bakal jadi Facebook sekarang and something else coming up. We never know, but I believe in Facebook and all other tech company that's doing really well. I think they're trying to make sure that they're there to support us as a human that try to live this life. Because I know, I mean, all the tech companies, I believe they want to do good for the community. They don't only do it for the money. So I hope they are coming up with something that's actually supporting us for our human life and community.
All right. Speaking of basically the future of social media, we have like one new player in social media, which is TikTok. So do you have any opinion about it? So how do you think about TikTok entrances, especially after they launch also TikTok ads?
Yeah. I think TikTok would have what I would say. I would say that TikTok did really well in whatever they're doing. They got really big really fast. I say that some audience are in TikTok, some audience are in Instagram, some audience are in Facebook. It depends on the audience. Yeah, that's all I can share about TikTok. Can't really. It's quite sensitive. Sorry. Yeah, but that's all I can share about TikTok. But I think they're a good platform, and then I'm happy for them that they reach their users in a very quickly. And then sekarang mereka punya TikTok ads juga, jadi that means they're on top of their game, and we are aware of that. But it's okay. There's a lot of competition, but then it's just how good is a product that could last, right? I mean, we are all fair game here. And I don't want to be too biased about Facebook or Instagram.
Sure.
You should do whatever you want to do. You want to go TikTok, it's fine. Spend your time everywhere you want to spend it. Yeah.
All right. So next question, still about Facebook competitors. So what is Facebook competitor or other social networking platform that Facebook always benchmark or feels like kompetitor yang paling beratnya?
Kita nggak pernah benchmark with other social media because I know we are on the top of social media level. So sorry about that. Yes, but then we're far on top. I'm not being arrogant, but then I mean our users base is a lot. Jadi menurut aku in social media space we're pretty safe. It just to innovate kan ya. Jadi again it's back to what the clients need. Jadi sorry, now I'm bringing the clients again. Tapi sebenarnya itu buat innovatively itself, I would say that we have our own space, we have our own game. Jadi we would say that probably other social media company thinks we are the benchmark, but we're pretty high up. Jadi kayak mungkin mereka yang pikirin kita as a benchmark daripada kita pikirin mereka as a benchmark. As a company, we're just trying to excel our products yang udah ada sih. Lebih kayak, let's say, other social media is just quite small to be our benchmark. So I'm sorry, it sounds super like kita di atas, tapi kayak I feel like that's the fact. Jadi I wouldn't say that we benchmark it that much to other social media. We're just trying to do our best. We don't put a benchmark on to be competitive.
Alright, interesting. Soalnya kemarin kita habis belajar juga tentang you need to also do some competitive research and such. So it's also interesting to know that Facebook didn't really do the benchmarking.
No, we actually stopped sending any kind of benchmark data as well to our clients. Karena menurut kita, every clients have different needs, dan this benchmark itu kadang cuman kayak jadi cuma ditaruh data, tapi kayak sebenarnya they don't do anything else and anything that actually change their business or actually beneficial for their business. So we stopped doing that.
Right. All right, so next questions. So maybe can you share to us the next big thing or interesting stuff on that Facebook or Instagram might do in the future? Yeah, what's next for Facebook and Instagram?
So I'm sharing what's already out there that I know of. Probably most of you guys know Reels is out, tapi belum di Indonesia. We have 50 countries yang udah out. Reels is like, yeah. Do you know Reels? No? Does anyone know Reels?
Anyone knows? Yeah. Sam, Irfan, Valerie.
Yeah. Okay. So Reels is another product that's gonna be in Instagram. It lets you do some videos and some more fun stuff other than just pictures. Yeah. So Reels is coming. I don't know when it's gonna come out to Indonesia, tapi kita juga udah ada IG shopping yang keluar buat Indo on public since earlier this month. So that's out as well. Ya ada IG shopping. Mungkin kalau misalnya belum kemarin ini IG shopping cuma buat selected advertisers, sekarang udah public.
Alright, cool. Maksudnya tadinya social Instagram kan kita nggak pernah kepikiran sampai jadi ini kan ada shopping feature-nya.
Yeah.
Now we have one.
Yeah, so we do have a shopping feature now, which is very interesting. We're getting into that scope. Dan udah jalan di US, di Indo masih baru, dan we'll see. Karena di Indo sekarang payment juga masih different ya, masih quite tricky, tapi yeah, that's something that we are getting into.
Right. So last questions. We go back again to your career journey. From Anonymous, what is your role model or inspiration that materials on your career journey?
Wow, this is a good question. Jadi sebenarnya itu, I would say, aku gak gitu punya kayak my idol atau my star, tapi someone who actually changed how I want to navigate is actually my partner, my counterpart in Tremor Video. So waktu di situ I met this one, I would say a partner. She's a little bit older. She's like she's kind of like my mentor at the time, and then she shows me how could be a really good seller. She was a really good seller, and I was very lured by how she sells. So, jadi kayak how she could convince people on whatever she says and do it really nicely, and then it just like people will do whatever she says, and I'm like, wow, that's such a good skill. You could actually work, you could sell, you get money, and then you can also in the daily life, people can believe whatever you say. So that's something that's kind of an eye opener. And then I became really close to her, and she's still my very good friend, and I would call her my mentor. I think it is important to find a mentor for your career journey. It doesn't have to be someone famous. It just have to be someone that cares about you and then kind of know where you want to be and then give you inspiration. Jadi, you could see like, let's say someone that 3 to 5 years ahead in your career journey, maybe that will be someone that will be really good fit for you. Then dengerin what they say about how do they get into their career and what makes her good in her career.
Right. All right. Thanks for sharing, Joshin, for tonight. So maybe just one last question for the participant. So we actually have basically the students ini ada yang backgroundnya macam-macam kan, but all of them are into digital marketing. So do you have any advice for those who wants to start their career in digital marketing? What kind of skills that you think they need to have if they want to start their career in digital marketing, or maybe based on what you already experienced yourself? Gitu. Do you have anything to share to them?
Okay, I think what can I share is I know RevoU already makes you already prep you with all this experience, so you are in a very good spot. Kalian udah bisa di support with all of the support from RevoU team, so I think you make the really good step. And then how you get into the next step is to find the job or the career. Where do you want to start? Nah, ini where do you want to start ini? It could be, I don't know because there's a lot of you kan, what you want could be different. Tapi try to be open, try to see what you can get first. Maksudnya, try to apply to a lot of places, try to think about kayak try even kayak brand-brand kecil yang kalian bisa pikir kayak that brand is giving out a very good marketing campaigns atau is very innovative. I think we can start with that as well. Jadi ada brand, kalian bisa jadi di brand side, kalian juga bisa jadi digital marketing agency side. So there's a lot of option, banyak banget brand baru di Indonesia. Dan the fact that kamu udah punya RevoU experience, I think you get the basics. Jadi you can present yourself as someone that already know a little bit or like already know how to run your campaigns. I think that's very important. To be honest, I think digital marketing is very straightforward. Maksudnya cara cara execute campaign di Facebook segala macam. Tapi you just have to think about what do you want to do with it. That's the hard part. Karena after that will be a harder part where how can you advance your career? Karena first step, I think you can start wherever you want to start. You can start branding or digital or agency or even the smaller one. Tapi the next step, I think it will be harder to define what you really want to be.
All right, noted. Thank you so much, Jushin, for spending your time to share with us Friday night.
No, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, so before we end the session, I just want to say thank you also to all of the participants that comes tonight. Please kindly fill out the feedback form here. Nanti I might share the feedbacks to Joshin directly via email, so she can read also what feedback dari teman-teman, terus apa tanggapan kalian dan sebagainya ya.
Yes.
So again, any last words before we end the session?
Guys, you're all doing well. Don't worry. Just work hard and you'll get there. I'm raving for you. So anything, please do just reach me out. Kalau kamu ada question, I'm open to listen. Or if you do have like some quick question about anything that I can help, I will try. I will try my best. I don't have all the time in my plate, but then I'll try. I will try. But I know that you guys have a very good support team in RevoU, so you guys are in good hands. And 2020 is hard for everyone, so don't worry. You're not alone.
You're not alone. All right, I actually shared your LinkedIn profile, so get ready. Banyak yang follow, banyak yang add nanti. Please connect. Please guys, if you want to connect with Joshin, you can add her LinkedIn. And thank you all for joining us again tonight. See you guys again tomorrow for the best for students. Bye all. Thanks, Joshin.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Thank you, Kak Jushin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ronald.
Thank you, Joshin.
Bye.